What is Section 8? We've probably all heard about it. Some investors in particular focus on Section 8 as a business model. It's actually one of the government-sponsored programs I actually like. It's been in existence since the Great Depression. It is literally Section 8 of the Federal Housing Act of 1937. So it's 80 plus years old, 85 years old, something like that. And it's a great program. It helps people who are down on their luck or out financially and need some assistance. There's approximately 2.2 million Section 8 vouchers floating around out there, people who have the opportunity to use the Section 8 program. The way that it works is the government will provide, subject to an appraisal of a person's individual financial situation, they'll provide financial assistance to get some housing. Now, typically, Section 8 is single-family houses. It focuses on single-family houses rather than apartments. However, a portion of the Section 8 funds do go to multifamily type environments, but primarily we're going to be talking about single family. And I think Section 8 is actually a really good deal for a landlord. Now, there's lots of bells and whistles. There's a lot of things you need to know about Section 8 if you're going to get involved in that type of rental property. But let me give you a little bit more background on Section 8 itself. First of all, it takes something between 10 and 20 years for you to get and they're called vouchers, before you get a Section 8 voucher. And you'll have to prove during that period of time that you are in, kind of a desperate financial situation. Overall in this country, there's a little over 5 million homes that have some form of government assistance. But the biggest chunk of that, 40+%, 2.2 million homes, is the group that's funded by Section 8. And the way that this thing works is you have to put in for a voucher. Like I said, it can take up to 20 years to literally get a voucher. It is a long, horrendous wait list. Typically, the only reason that people get off the Section 8 doles is they die. Once they die, they'll open up another amount or another voucher in that area. Now, there are a lot of areas of the country where Section 8 is completely full. There is no room left, and they're no longer issuing any Section 8 vouchers. They oversupplied the voucher pool. And in a lot of cases, the vouchers are given to the renters with the idea that they'll use them on a HUD-approved home, but there's not enough landlords out there who have HUD-approved homes for these vouchers to be completely used, so not all of them are in circulation actively being used on a daily basis or a monthly basis. Once you're given a voucher, a Section 8 voucher by the government, by the Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, the HUD, you're going to get 2 to 4 months roughly, depending on the area and the city and the county, 2 to 4 months from which to pick a house, to find a house. And it's your job as the recipient of the Section 8 voucher to go out and get yourself a house. You have to find it yourself. Now, where do the houses come from? Well, if you're a landlord, you own a rental property, a single family rental property, you have a choice. You can rent to anybody off the street, you can rent to one of these government programs, or you can rent to Section 8. Now, the difference is, if you're going to be a landlord of a Section 8 property, you're going to have to go through what's called a HUD inspection first. And these things are excruciating. Your house, and I've done this before, I've had some Section 8 homes for periods of time. But the way these things work is they'll come in and they will give you a top-to-tail inspection of your home. It's got to meet every single safety requirement under the sun, it seems like. You can't have lead-based paint, you can't have any leaks in the windows, you can't have anything wrong with the house. It's basically got to be almost move-in style for a regular buyer. This is not just the normal rent-ready level. It's a higher level standard than that. Now, that's the downside. If you're a landlord, you've really got to upgrade your house to make sure it meets the HUD standards. Once you've had the HUD inspection, then you can advertise that you will take a Section 8 tenant. Why would you want a tenant from the government? It's a really good program. It's a good question. One of the best things about it, if you're a landlord, is your tenant is going to get 90% of their payment made by the government vis-a-vis the Section 8 voucher. So they've got to pay 10%, the government's going to pay 90%. So you're assured of getting basically 90% of your income, no matter what. You're not going to have to collect it. And the way that this thing works is if the tenant, the Section 8 tenant, doesn't make their payment, they're kicked out. If the tenant messes your house up at all, including breaking window, knocking holes in walls, anything that's beyond an extraordinary standard of care for your house, that Section 8 tenant can not only get kicked out of your house, they can get kicked out of the Section 8 program. Keep in mind, 10 to 20 years on the list to get a Section 8 voucher. They're golden once you get them, but it can take forever to do this. So you don't want to, if you're a Section 8 tenant, you don't want to mess up the house that you're in. It's very, very important that you take extremely good care of the house. So that's the benefit to the landlord, is their tenant is almost assured of not messing up their house, and they're almost 100% assured of getting their 10% money. And you're going to get the money from the government electronically on a monthly basis. And so you're going to get paid, and the house is going to be in great shape. There's all kinds of benefits from that standpoint. The other thing that's beneficial to you as a landlord is you're going to get top of the market rent or even slightly higher. They will benchmark the rents for the highest rent for that type of property out there. And the government understands that, and it needs more Section 8 landlords out there, but many landlords don't want to go through a HUD inspection. You got to go through this in some cases every year. You've got to have your home re-inspected. So the downside for a landlord is it's costly. You've really got to upgrade your house. The plus side is your house is generally never going to get messed up by a tenant, and you're going to get paid quickly, on time, and top of the market rent. So it's a really good program to be involved in if you are a landlord and you specialize in that. Now, there are only certain areas of the country that still have a lot of HUD availability. Generally, it's the upper Midwest, but HUD is available in all 50 states, and it is just focused on, like I said, people who need the financial assistance. They're vetted by the government, and then in turn, your house is vetted by the government. So I see Section 8 as a win-win for landlords. It's a win-win for tenants, and it's a good business model. It's a good investing model. I would encourage you all to look at a Section 8 position to have your house in. Okay. Thank you for watching. If you get a minute, I would love to hear your comments about what you think of these videos. Feel free also to put in any topics down here in the comment section, things that you'd like to hear me discuss. Any questions you want, go ahead and put in here. We'll make sure we get a video on it when we get time. And as always, please like and subscribe. Hit that ring the bell button as well to get notified every time there is a new video. Thanks a lot, everybody.